Hey guys, it is April from Getting Hygge With It. Today I wanted to talk to you about my very favorite thing to do, which is book shopping. Specifically, book shopping on a budget, looking for books on sale. You know that I do a lot of book hauls on my channel. My bookshelves are essentially bursting at the seams because I buy so many books. And the reason I'm able to buy so many books is because I am able to get them on sale. Most of the time I get them used. Not always though. So I wanted to share with you in this video my little tricks and where essentially I buy my cheap books. So let's talk about where to buy cheap books. The first suggestion that I have for you is to make good friends with your library. Now I live in Ottawa, Ontario in Canada, and I'm very lucky to have an amazing library system. And so at our library, we have this thing called the Mammoth Book Sale. Every month, there's a library that hosts this big old library book sale. So some of the books there will be actual library copies. Some of them are just regular copies of books with no none of the barcodes or anything on them. So I will often go there. I might not go every single month, but every 2 or 3 months I'll go to a Mammoth library book sale, and usually they're about $1 a book. I'm usually able to walk away from those sales with at least 3 or 4 books. So I definitely check out big, huge library book sales where they get everyone together. I don't know if there's something like that in your city, but check into it. Now, I would say the majority of the books that I get for cheap are also from libraries, but I will travel around and go to different libraries. I have 4 that I go to in my area, and each of these libraries has a little corner of the library that's just books for sale. Now they're all used books. None of these are new, although you'd be surprised how good quality some of these can be. So I'll wander in and look around. I usually will go to each one of the libraries once a month. And so that means every week I'm going to another library to scour their little used bookstore section. And now every library will have different price points. So one of the libraries I go to, they sell used books for $1. Other places, they sell used books for $2. And then some of them, many of them actually, if the book is a very new release, sometimes it's like $4 to get that book. But when you're talking about things like the Essex Serpent hardcover, I don't mind spending $4. So I often will go there. The other thing I'd recommend is going online and finding out about book sales in your community or your city. So in Ottawa, I have 2 used book sales that happen from communities that I go to. Now, I'm open to going to more, but so far these are the 2 or 3 actually that I go to. So one of them happens right in my neighborhood, which is fantastic, and that happens in, I think it's January or February. And there they'll sell books for like $2 or $3 a piece. And these places are huge and jam-packed with very new releases a lot of the time. So you can't help but walk away with a lot. The only thing that I struggle with community book sales like this are how packed it is. You can barely move. So that's just one thing. If you don't like to be around people that much, they're a bit difficult. But yeah, so one of them is in my little neighborhood and sells usually around $2 or $3 a book. The other one is downtown, and last year we went on the last day, and it was fill a bag for $20. And this happened in June last year, and it's happening again in June this year. So that's another option that you could do if you did want to go to a community book sale. They'll usually do something like that on the last day, where you can really go all out on the last day. And they'll have them even cheaper than they usually would. But then again, you're not going to have the access to new releases. So it's just something to bear in mind for yourself. Another thing that I often do is go to like charity shops, basically. In Canada, we have something called Value Village. And, you know, they all sell things like used clothing, used, you know, knickknacks. If you need a new frame, you can get that there. But you can also buy books there. And so at Value Village, they'll have this sale where it's buy 4 books and get the last one free. So you get 5 books essentially for the price of 4. I always end up spending $25 exactly. Exactly $25. I walk away with 5 books. Not a bad deal. Not the best deal I've ever made, but not bad either. So I would definitely recommend doing that. Go and check out charity shops. I usually bounce between 2 Value Villages. I probably go to them like once every 2 months or something like that, just to see if there are new ones. That's usually where I find thrillers. Just FYI, that's usually where I go to find my thrillers, because people get rid of thrillers usually after they're done with them. Another spot that you might want to check out is Book Outlet. Now, I don't know whether this is worldwide, but I know that it's available in Canada and the US. And these are all brand new books at a discount. They'll have a tiny little mark on the top of the book or at the bottom of the book, a little black mark, but that's the extent of it. And you can definitely go to town at Book Outlet, and I definitely do online, especially when they have their sales. Their sales can be absolutely incredible. So definitely something to check out. Another spot to check out is Book Depository. They will have discount books. It's not as good a deal, I would say, as Book Outlet, but they have free shipping, which is huge. Considering that this ships practically worldwide, it's pretty huge that they have free shipping. So that's another spot that you could consider. The last spot that I go to buy cheap books is at Chapters. And now this is like Barnes and Nobles, but in Canada essentially. So Chapters has a little section that has discount books. They're essentially books under $10. Sometimes it'll be like buy 3 books for $10 or something. So I head into that little area. That is where I've bought things like Black Rabbit Hall by Eve Chase. I have bought Second Life there. So it's definitely a spot that you can go and get really amazing books just for a little cheaper. So these are my little tips and tricks of where to go and get some books at a greater price. I mean, there are times though that you just need to splurge and go all out and buy full price for a book. But I do love to get my books at a discount, and I know that you guys do too. So these are my little tips. I hope that it was helpful. Please let me know in the comments below, first, if it was helpful, and also if you have any other tips and tricks. I hope that you are doing well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.